Hey everyone, the World Film Geek here, and here's my exclusive interview with Uruguayan director Maxi Contenti. His latest film, the horror film Last Matinee, is now in select theaters and will be out on DVD, digital, and on demand on August 24th. I hope you enjoy the interview.
Like that.
Hello,
Hello, Albert.
how you doing?
Good.
Great. I actually just watched The Last Matinee this morning, and I could not believe what I saw. It was such a good movie. I love that it paid homage to like the 80s slasher and Italian giallo films. Overall, a great job on that film.
Thank you.
So my first question is, what was the influence behind this movie?
Whoa. There's influence from everywhere, I guess. I can say probably the most the core of it is childhood memories from watching my first horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why there's a kid there, and so sort of like it connects also with the era. That era was when I was a kid, and so the main influences were actually 80s giallos. Most of them I watched them on TV, but and then I think the fusion with the giallo came after, once we conceived the project, when I was developing the project, and we decided, okay, because the idea came from the location. It was this location that brought the idea to life. I knew this theater, and I wanted, okay, let's make this theater called for a movie, so let's make a movie. Okay, which kind of movie? Let's make a self-contained movie. All happens in this theater. Okay, let's make a horror. Okay, comes naturally for me. Okay, let's make a slasher. How can we make something that is interesting and also it's nostalgic and connects with the cinemas and the whole horror experience in a classic way? Okay, let's bring giallos in the mix, or just get the scent of giallo to the slasher, or mix them together.
Yeah.
So it's too many to point. I guess the main influences are 80s slashers, and if I had to point more specifically, it's more in the American side than in the Italian side. The Italian side brought the scent and brought the style, just a mixture of both. But if I have to say where my heart is, I'll say I always think in Terry Gilliam and Kubrick and Spielberg and Carpenter and Brian De Palma, Cronenberg. So first.
Oh yeah.
Then I can say Mario Bava, Fulci, Argento, but they come after. It's more like the sprinkle.
Definitely. And the 80s slasher, I think that's the golden age of the slashers, without a doubt. Like for me, all the best slasher movies came out in the 80s. Like even the ones that
it's the birth of the horror as a very established genre.
Exactly.
It was the 80s. It was after that it got respected in a way.
Definitely.
Established itself in the 80s. So I'm
and
a child from the 80s.
And the fact that I like that it's self-contained in the theater, it did remind me of a certain Italian movie, Demons, but instead of demons, you got the slasher. I thought of Demons like right away, that the whole movie was set in a movie theater. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And
that was our point. That was our point of reference. That was the movie point of reference. Then I did more research, and I picked up other movies. Mm-hmm. But that Demons was the point of reference for the giallo part and for the movie within the movie.
Yeah, I loved it. That's what I loved about the movie. That whole thing, because it brings this really claustrophobic type environment, and you don't know what's going to happen. And I gotta say, the kill scenes are amazing in this movie. They're done exactly how I was hoping, and yes, some of it made me cringe. I'll admit that, but that's what I like. I like stuff that will make me like really like cringe, just and the way the kills were done, where it was, you had an excellent special effects team on this one.
Yes,
and,
of course.
and I'm glad that you went through the practical effects, because thank God we don't have to deal with CGI anymore, because
it doesn't work. Actually,
No.
it was a. It's not that I pushed it. It was more like Christian Gruas, the special effect director.
Mhm.
He managed to make it all practical, but I wasn't sure that it was gonna be able to. I wasn't sure. I thought, well, maybe we need some assistance here or there, but we didn't. So it's I can honestly say all the horror effects are practical.
I'm glad.
On camera.
And
It's a very much a different effect and experience. So it's good to know that it brings up a different outcome, which is more satisfying. I think it's worth it. It's more work too. It makes the shooting much more difficult, and you don't have many chances to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the shots of the special effects are we didn't pass to the third shot of the special effect. It just was the first shot or the second or maybe the third. But once I passed the third, I lost 2 hours for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna happen, but it's better than having practical effects than CGI. I know for a while the horror film had abundance of CGI work. That's fine and all, but I think we're now in an era where we're happy to go back to practical.
Let's go back and combine and make. I mean, okay, we had the new toys and we play and abuse them, but maybe let's just get the tools,
totally agree.
The right tools for the right things. So yeah, of course.
Exactly. So how long did shooting take, and what challenges did you face besides the practical effects? Were there any other challenges that you faced during production?
Yeah. Well, the shooting was 24 days. It was a short. It was tight, and then we had a little just months later, a little studio for pickups, a little studio shoot of 5 people. But then we had there was a lot of other difficulties besides special effects. Location wise, we almost lost the location because the movie theater was one of them, and then we used 2 movie theaters, and the other one we shot at night because it was still open and still working. It was a working theater. That's the ticket booth, and those are the parts, and we almost lost that location in the middle of the shoot, and because of some problems with the owner. Mm-hmm. So that was scary, because changing things when you are doing it, it's very difficult. But we were lucky there, and we didn't lose the location. Mm-hmm. And then I before, just like 2 weeks before, an actor dropped, so I had to recast 2 weeks before one of the main characters.
Oh.
And 2 actors dropped.
Oh man!
But one dropped like 3-4 weeks before, or a month before, and the other one 2 weeks before. So it was 12 days, even closer.
Wow!
So I had to recast really fast, and those were the 2 difficult parts. The time constraints. I had to cut a lot of the technical script out, or the storyboarding and all the very special takes that I wanted to do with the dolly or movement. So I sort of like managed to convince myself to make it a more classical film, more appreciating the framework, more like Hitchcockian, more like let's do good framework and work with the focus puller, not move the camera unless we need to, unless the story needs to, or unless the characters need to. And so I managed to cut shots because of time constraints, and be able to finish the movie.
Yeah.
So those were the difficulties.
Well, even though the 2 actors dropped, you did have a good cast, including Luciana Grasso, Ricardo Islas, Pedro Duarte, Franco Duran. What was the cast like ultimately when you got them all together, because they seem to have done a great job.
Yeah, I was really happy. Yeah, it's actually it's a small film, but it's actually like a for it's a slasher, right? So
Mhm.
you have an ensemble of cast, like 13 characters. They're gonna be killed, most of them, but still, you had to characterize and try to give them as rich as possible background. So I was really happy with the cast. And about the teenagers, I was amazed by Julieta Spinelli,
Mhm.
that I found her through casting, and Luciana and Franco, the kid, Tomas Franco
Yeah.
Duran. I was really surprised by them. And some others had experience, but those are they were their first movies. And then some of the teenagers, I had to push them a little more. The couple, those were also the first timers making a
Yeah.
movie. So I had to push and motivate a little more their scenes. And yeah, well, and then they are troopers. They had to, face the special effects and the makeup. And it's winter and it's really cold and people get sick, being all, covered in blood and fake blood. And yeah, it's tough, especially for a first time actor,
Mhm.
but they managed. So yeah, really happy with the cast.
That's awesome. Well, this is a great movie, and I understood it hit theaters on August 6th, and it's coming to VOD.
Limited release, yes.
Right. And it's going to be on DVD, digital, and on demand on August 24th. And so I'm recommending everyone check this movie out. If they love a good 80s slasher style film, combined with the Italian giallo with, yeah, like you said, Hitchcockian style suspense, they're going to want to see this movie. Maxi, you did a great job on this film, and I hope the film is a success, and I can't wait to see more of your work.
Okay, thank you so much, Albert.
All right, you take care.
Take care.
All right.